Tyler, and I'm here to let you know that the Bourne Ultimatum is no perfect movie. So the Bourne Ultimatum begins right around the middle of Bourne Supremacy after the big car chase, and Bourne decides to set out and discover how he became an assassin for Operations Treadstone and Blackbriar, and he's assisted by Pam Landy, once again played by Joan Allen, and Nikki Parsons, once again portrayed by Julia Stiles. But he's also being pursued by CIA Deputy Director Noah Vosen, played by David Strathairn. Now, one of the reasons this is my favorite of the franchise so far anyways, is because of its pacing. There are so many spy movies that have scenes spanning 5 minutes or so just to give us as much information as we need to know so that they don't have to remind us. But in this movie, there are scenes like a reporter named Ross interviewing someone about Operation Blackbriar, or Landy questioning Vosen about Bourne and looking for his files. They don't feel longer than 1 or 2 minutes, and the information is not just spelled out right at the beginning. It is built up slowly throughout the movie to make the mystery more compelling and to make the final reveal so much more impactful. And once again, Paul Greengrass's cinematography with over-the-shoulder camera angles or close-up montages, they create another voyeuristic atmosphere that we really need in a spy movie nowadays. I had said in my Bourne Supremacy review that I thought the action was incoherent compared to the rest of the series, but in this movie, Greengrass has effectively learned when to shoot in a wide angle to show the choreography of a fight, and when to cut to a close-up to really emphasize the weight of a hit, especially during the fight between Bourne and Desh in Tangier, which is one of my favorite fights, hands down. And it's during the sequence that I had noticed something that I hadn't really thought of before that actually really elevates this series. These movies almost never have a scene that features a large amount, if any, of CGI. Bourne is actually jumping for real windows in Tangier, and they're actually wrecking a police car in yet another amazing car chase in New York City. And as much as I enjoy larger-scale spy movies like James Bond or Mission Impossible, I do really wish that there were more smaller-scale spy franchises that are more grounded and realistic, which is something you see more on cable TV. With Showtime, you have Homeland. With HBO, you had Strike Back, and on FX, they have The Americans. I'd like to see stuff like that seen on film where more people can see something more grounded and realistic. Matt Damon is once again fantastic in the lead as Jason Bourne. As for the supporting cast, David Strathairn is actually my favorite villain in the franchise so far, because even though he's kind of like Chris Cooper in the first one or Brian Cox in the second one, where he wants to cover up his own mistakes, he's different in that he doesn't really see what he's doing as a bad thing. He genuinely believes that if there is someone who's a threat to his country and he can murder that person to save plenty of American lives, he'll be satisfied and he'll do it at any cost. And Julia Stiles is given much more moments to shine as Nikki, where she shows her faith in her country's national security slowly disappearing throughout the entire movie. And after she's almost assassinated by her own national security because she was doing the right thing, she doesn't speak for the rest of the entire movie. And we can totally see why. And it's never officially mentioned, but there is an implication to how she knew Bourne and why she wants to help him in the first place. And it actually really adds something to her character that we kind of saw in the other movies. Another very clever thing about the Bourne films is what Bourne specifically remembers in each film. In the first one, it's what he did for the CIA. In the second one, it's specifically about the misdeeds he committed as an assassin. And in this film, he finally decides to find out how he became an assassin in the first place. Identity is basically a beginning, Supremacy is a middle, and Ultimatum is the end of a 3-part character arc for Jason Bourne. And in each film, Bourne realizes more and more that many of the bad deeds he did, like murdering someone without knowing why he was supposed to kill them, or committing an assassin in front of someone's child, are all decisions that he can pretty much made on his own. But the reason we still feel for him, and we set him apart from the villains, is that Bourne knows he can't fix any of these mistakes. The villains in these movies do what whatever they can to cover up their problems, whether it be killing people or something else like that. Bourne doesn't even try to fix any of the bad things he did. He tries to move on as best as he can. He does whatever he can to defend people, and I think that's what makes us really understand him as a character, whether it be in the first one, his relationship with Marie, in the second one, trying to avenge her death, and in the third one, protecting Nikki because she was helping him the entire time. My only problem with the film is that the reporter character Ross, during one particular scene in a train station, which is a very tense scene by the way, he makes a really forced and stupid decision that I get that was based on his stress in the situation, but overall it really didn't affect the plot of the movie. But besides that, Bourne Ultimatum is one of my favorite action movies of all time. It has really good action scenes, great acting, and Bourne's arc is progressed very nicely in my opinion. And for that reason, I am going to give the Bourne Ultimatum a 4.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out my other reviews at NoPerfectMovie.com, and stay tuned for my review of The Bourne Legacy, which will be coming up this weekend. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care. Long story.